Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. Wonder Woman has been released, and a lot of you lucky people have probably are watching it right now or have already watched it today, and I hope it's huge. I hope it's big numbers. I'm gonna watch it with my wife, my two boys, and my niece over at Kapolei, and we're gonna be in the reclining seats and everything, and we're gonna finally get to watch Wonder Woman. Funny enough, my boy Oliver, he's such a DC fanboy, and Grayson is more of a Marvel guy. But he's super stoked to watch Wonder Woman. He can't wait to watch it. In fact, before he went to bed, he begged me to watch Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice one more time to get going, that rush going. He's only 5 years old, so I'm impressed that he's really dug that universe. And I'm with him. I cannot wait to watch Wonder Woman. It's now tracking 95+ million opening weekend, even though Warner Brothers still want to hold back and say 65, 75 million. But I think it's going to go upwards of 100 million plus. That's my gut feeling anyway. It is sort of a summer break, so maybe a lot of kids are out. They want to go watch it. The girlfriends want to take their boyfriends to watch it. Boyfriends want to take their girlfriends to watch it. Go out and watch it this weekend. Wonder Woman, it's all about Wonder Woman. But with Wonder Woman critically getting a certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, the first DC Extended Universe movie to get a certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes is a huge plus. And I mean DC Extended Universe. I don't mean the Nolan Batman films, because those were prior to this DC Extended Universe. For the first one, right out the gate, Wonder Woman has completely changed around what the people have perceived DC Extended Universe. And now what I mean by people is the people who don't like what has been done so far, not the people who, like me, who like what has been done so far, and finally seeing people starting to like the DC Extended Universe. I'll have much more to say after I've watched this film to see how it is. And for you who've already watched it, you probably know what I'm getting at. What has changed in the way that the critics, I know we're not supposed to listen to critics, or even the general public, the people who are not really into this, and finally who were not into Man of Steel, who were not into Batman v Superman, and not into Suicide Squad, and finally saying, Wonder Woman, this is a good DC Extended Universe film. What happened? I want to go back a ways and just want to talk about it and have a conversation, and I want you guys to share your opinions, because I really want to know if you feel the same way about if there is a change or not a change. But if you go back, we had Man of Steel and came out in 2013, and then right after, you know, they made a lot of money in Man of Steel. Warner Brothers announced that director Zack Snyder and David Goyer would come back and do a Man of Steel sequel. Then after that, and they were gonna release the film early, like in 2015, right? But then San Diego Comic-Con shows up, and all of a sudden, Batman is involved in the film, and Zack Snyder did not even think about Batman until after. It wasn't Man of Steel. There was no plan. Man of Steel was going to be a one and done, according to him. He didn't think about a sequels after that. But the studio gave the go ahead, and he started thinking. He said Batman, and it couldn't really go back from there. And so that began the work of David Goyer, Nolan, more like an executive producer, advisory type. Snyder and Goyer were going to complete the story and take inspired by Dark Knight Returns, that incredible graphic novel, which is more of an Elseworlds or a future of what would happen in the future when Batman gets older. So time goes on, then you start to hear all these different things, aspects happening. Goyer having a project, and he couldn't really rewrite the script, so they brought on Chris Terrio into it, work the script, and Snyder come together, and they start to flesh out what will be the DC extending universe. They started adding Wonder Woman. Then we hear things about adding Aquaman. We hear things about adding Cyborg. And people are going nuts because they're like, oh my god, I thought this was a Superman sequel. What happened? Like, was Batman involved now? And now you want Wonder Woman. You know, you're going too fast. You're cramming everything in here. While Marvel started to make their universe, they're doing Avengers, they're doing all that stuff, and it just does feel like Warner Brothers is trying to catch up. But it came out, it was delayed actually till 2016 from 2015 because of all these other things that are happening. But in 2016 came out, and Batman v Superman came out to mixed reviews, mostly negative critical reviews, but we have a hardcore fan base like myself who really enjoyed the film, really enjoyed the Ultimate Edition more, but we really dug the film. But the studios also are looking at the critical reception. They made a ton of money, don't get me wrong. It made a little less than $1 billion, but it made a lot of money, which is a surefire, which is a win in the bank's eyes, right? In the studio's eyes for thing. But the studio wants that critical reception too. They want it to be loved, beloved, you know, by all, by critics, by the general public, and not just a hardcore fan base. They're doing it for the fans, but they want other people to enjoy it as well, and that's just business mentality. So they reacted to it, and then the Suicide Squad was already being made. David Ayer was already making Suicide Squad. Then you start to hear that they were rewriting that, they're reshooting that. He kind of, we've heard stories about that. Of course, rewrites, reshoots happen all the time, and they're just making a huge big deal out of it. And Suicide Squad was part of that. They added more fun, they added more levity. Whether that was already there or not remains to be known. David Ayer says it was always like that. They added a few more bits and things, but that's not true. But ultimately we did find out that Trailer Park did cut the film to make it different from what David Ayer's vision was. And if you go back and look at David Ayer's first trailer, the tone seemed more somber, seemed more something David Ayer would do with like End of Watch, Fury, as opposed to the trailers before with Bohemian Rhapsody. That first teaser seemed very dark, very different, and very somber, like they're all gonna die. So, which fits the tone of Batman v Superman. But when Suicide Squad came out, it had also mixed reviews, mixed reactions. People were like, oh my god, this is incredible. But there were people who didn't like Batman v Superman, but really enjoyed Suicide Squad because it was fun, had a lot of jokes, it was a lot of action in it, and it moved towards along. A lot of people had issues with the third act, so there was differing things in there. But the studio ultimately looked at the critic reviews again. And critics, it's like 28% or 27%, I forgot what it was, and it made a lot of money, almost as much money as Batman v Superman. But then there were inner workings again, more things going on, where Zack Snyder was already doing Justice League, was starting on Justice League, with Chris Terrio doing the writing for it. And I think David Goyer had a little bit of a hand in that too, while Batman v Superman was just released. So the Suicide Squad then sort of kind of affected Justice League, maybe. And that is my question. All of a sudden, Jeff Johns and John Berg came on right after. We've heard news that they flew over to Wonder Woman, they flew over to Justice League, and they started working on different aspects of it. Less Wonder Woman and more Justice League. Justice League suddenly had from a part 1 and part 2 into just one movie and just Justice League. Snyder's still looking like directing the Justice League 2 coming out, but that's not officially released. Not like before, only Justice League is in the works. And now in post-production, with Zack Snyder out because of the tragedy, and now Joss Whedon coming in, rewriting, reshooting some scenes, some aspects of seeing it, news brought up that he is not only just came on to oversee Zack Snyder's vision, reportedly by a Hollywood Reporter or the Wrap news outlet, saying that he has been on rewriting to reshoot on aspects of Justice League even before Zack Snyder released the statement that he's no longer working on Justice League. And Joss Whedon has been helping for a while now. And so that is interesting in itself. Whether those news are true or not, I don't know. I don't work in the industry. I'm just looking at from the outside, just as you are. And Jeff Johns coming out and saying there's more. We're putting more hope and optimism into it, as he is now the creative director. Toby Emmerich has come on board. Charles Roven stepped down. You know, there's all these different aspects included before Wonder Woman. All this stuff is happening after Suicide Squad, before Wonder Woman, before Justice League. Wonder Woman is out. Critically well received, certified fresh, over at 92%. It's great. We'll see how the box office shares in the cinema score, if the people out there are saying the same thing, and the money counts. If the box office is good, there's a ton of money in there, critically received. This seems like what Warner Brothers wants DC Extended Universe to go into. Is this the start? Is this the start of the Jeff Johns universe? Not from Suicide Squad, which people have said it has been too late in the game for him to change anything. But Wonder Woman, they had aspects of it. Of course, a lot of people says nothing. He had really no hand in it, and Patty Jenkins had everything. But he could have used that template of what he saw in Wonder Woman, and now they're pouring into the other things. And so that's why the complete DC Extended Universe slate has changed. It's different. There's Batgirl all of a sudden. They're still working the Flash. They're getting Rick Famuyiwa is gone. Flash is being supposedly Robert Zemeckis maybe coming in to be the Flash director. That has not been confirmed. Matthew Vaughn supposedly Superman 2, not confirmed. Matt Reeves is gonna direct the Batman, so that's confirmed. David Ayer supposed to do Gotham City Sirens, maybe, but we don't know. But I'm just trying to build that conversation. Has it changed? Has it actually really changed? Has what Zack Snyder's vision of what happens after Batman v Superman into Justice League, has that changed? There has been a thing going around. It was called Justice League Plot Leak, and it's been going through Reddit. Apparently this guy has already who actually said things about Batman v Superman that came true prior to the movie coming out. And this same guy says he knows what Justice League is. I won't say anything about the plot leak here. You can go ahead. A lot of news outlets, a lot of videos have talked about it if you're really interested in looking at that. It's a vision that I see Zack Snyder probably doing. It's something, the way the plot goes, the way that everything pulls together, it feels like what a Zack Snyder film would be. And I dig it. I really liked what that story was. It's a very comic booky. It ties in with Batman v Superman, explains some things like nightmare sequences and stuff like that. So and it's very almost Injustice type, and I really love Injustice 2. Injustice Universe. I am that kind of guy. I really dig this Zack Snyder's universe, but I'm just wondering, with all these reshoots, rewrites, how Wonder Woman's critically received, how Jeff Johns and John Berg has come on and says this is our whole template now. That's gone, and they can automatically say that stuff and things in the Batman v Superman has changed to outlook on Justice League, like the Flash sequence. Maybe the Flash actually did change parts of that future that Batman v Superman was going to happen. And so that is my question. Has the DC Extended Universe changed? Has it changed from Zack Snyder's original vision into something that Jeff Johns, John Berg, maybe even Joss Whedon is involved in, into a new place called hope, enthusiasm, all that stuff that he's been preaching since Wonder Woman, and since before Wonder Woman, and since after Suicide Squad? Like, is this what is the new universe that Snyder is no longer going to be kind of involved in? And, you know, he should step away because of his family's sake. But I'm just wondering, I hope he's credited for some of the stuff that he has built. And I don't know if within these 5 months how much they can rework the Justice League, and how much of that is going to be what Zack Snyder has intended. We'll probably never know. Maybe we'll know a long time from now if the film that we're going to watch in November is truly a Zack Snyder film, and maybe we can kind of see it is. That's the thing, because if Justice League comes out and it is phenomenal, it is fantastic, not for just for the hardcore fans, but the critics love it, the general audience love it, the box office numbers are through the roof. We finally get our $1 billion DC Extended Universe film. Are they gonna say, Zack Snyder, you did a good job? Or is Jeff Johns come out, John Byrne coming out, even Joss Whedon comes out and says, good job, guys, good job, you built upon what Zack Snyder intended? Or this was not what Zack Snyder intended, we'll find out later on, and they've completely changed everything. I don't know what to think. I really am interested. This is a huge documentary. If someone could go out, research this 10 years from now, I want to see a huge documentary about what this actually happened from DC Extended Universe and how the world's created. But if Justice League comes out and it becomes that negative reaction again, and it becomes that Batman v Superman controversy again, then are they going to put Zack Snyder in fault? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell until we find out in November, but I'm banking to see that what I see in Wonder Woman, if anything of Wonder Woman has changed since Batman v Superman. They said not, there was no production, there's nothing. Jeff Johns had no effect on it, even though he actually did kind of come on. There was an article that said that he has come on to oversee Patty Jenkins a little bit. I don't think that much, but I'm wondering what happened there. What did Jeff Johns actually do? What did John Berg actually do to create this new critical reception of DC Extended Universe that the studios didn't quite see in Zack Snyder, and sadly didn't see in Zack Snyder? But what do you guys think? Let's have a conversation about this. Let's just talk about it. I'm wondering what you guys think. Has the DC Extended Universe have truly changed with Jeff Johns coming on board, John Berg, even Joss Whedon? Are they gonna make Patty Jenkins make different movies from now on? They're gonna sign her up for other than Wonder Woman. They're gonna make her do all these kinds of other stuff in studios' eyes, or is this the plan all along? And what we're gonna get in Wonder Woman, it was the plan, was what Patty Jenkins wrote all along, and what Justice League is coming out is that the original Zack Snyder vision that he intended. I'm going to quote Harvey Dent from The Dark Knight: "The night is darkest just before the dawn." Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, the darkest before the dawn of justice, which is Wonder Woman, Justice League, and so on and so forth. I feel like this is what was intended, but one part of my mind is thinking the media and everybody's gonna say that's not what happened. Jeff Johns, you saved us. Patty Jenkins, you saved the universe. Oh, Joss Whedon, you saved the universe. And they might have. I don't know if they have. I don't even know. To me, it really didn't need saving, but I don't know if that's what's going to happen, and I just want to share what I'm thinking and questioning what's going to happen in Justice League, what's going to happen in Wonder Woman when I watch it tomorrow. So anyway, please comment down below. Let's talk about it. I'd like to hear your opinions on it. Put that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching Wonder Woman tomorrow. I'm gonna have a review up tomorrow. I cannot wait to see this. I cannot wait to see this. I can't wait to see that awesome DC opening intro too. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night.